Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. In June of this year, Graham Bright, he is the, what's his title here? He's the compliance and operations boss over at Exim Bank. He was talking about the idea of the SWIFT network utilizing XRP. And so this part isn't brand new news, but I want to use this opportunity to talk about a few things because this video clip from June, just all day, it's been popping up in my news feed, and so I listened to it again, and I want to talk about it a little bit, exactly what this would look like, and like, will SWIFT actually use XRP, and what would it look like if they somehow implemented the use of a cryptocurrency for settlement. So I'm going to get into that, as well as some developments of the XRapid ecosystem as a whole. And I'll wrap up this particular video with a piece unrelated to this, which is why I'm saving it for the end, but I just found it to be kind of fascinating. It's from Cointelegraph, and it's titled, Swiss University Fights Fake Diplomas with Blockchain Technology. Now, before we get rolling here, if you would please delicately tap that like button, and if you're a fan of Ripple and XRP, well, thank you very much, good sir or lady, for stopping by. I do appreciate all of the support. So the last tweet that I came across in my feed is what I have on the screen here. It's from it's Crypto Couple, who is at Couple of Crypto. There you go, on Twitter. And wrote, wait for the end. So this clip, it's 1 minute 34 seconds, which I'm going to link below because it's worth watching again. So this is Graham Bright. Now, I want to mention up front, Graham Bright, he actually worked at SWIFT for 20 years. And so this isn't just some dolt saying something like with no reasonable understanding of how money moves around the world or anything to that effect. And so again, now he's with Exim Bank. And so here's the tweet from Crypto Couple. It says, wait for the end. The Exim Bank boss states, we may also see XRP moving across the SWIFT network as a currency, with perhaps using something like FX. And then the tweet continues, at some point, we may be surprised by the news and finally see price movement in the right direction, so hang in there, folks. I can share this, I can appreciate the sentiment as it pertains to the price of XRP. And so I pulled up this tweet from XRP Research Center, and this is June 17th, 2019, when this news was breaking here. It says, amazing interview with Graham Bright, compliance and operations at Exim Bank. And then here's another quote from it. I think, from Graham Bright, I think we're also seeing that SWIFT are changing their network capabilities. What we may also see is Ripple XRP moving across the SWIFT network, right? Okay, so what would this actually look like? Well, here's the thing that I find fascinating about this. And just to be clear, this is, I think it's fair to call this speculation that this would ever happen. There's no evidence that we're heading in this direction. SWIFT, they're pretty anti-crypto, that's rather clear, but I want to state really flatly that humans have not come up with a solution for settlement outside of what cryptocurrencies have to offer. There literally, technologically, is no other solution, and a big part of that, as I say frequently, is that it comes down to trust. Trust is required. Because think about what's the correspondent banking system. It's just a chain of bilateral banking relationships, because not everybody is going to know everybody well enough to trust everybody, and also on top of that, not everybody is trustworthy, right? And so that's why you have this whole mess here. And so what's fascinating to me is as Ripple continues to find success, as XRapid is increasingly deployed, you will have these pools of liquidity the world over. And we already know that XRP is a perfect cryptocurrency for the use case that Ripple intends to use it for, which is a bridge currency for cross-border payments, for settlement, right? And so it's kind of funny, and I'm going to read something from David Schwartz, Ripple CDO, co-creator of the XRP ledger, and it's funny to me that Ripple so SWIFT is doing some heavy lifting for payments, and I'll show you what I mean in just a second here in what David Schwartz writes. But it's funny to me that in addition to that, Ripple's doing the heavy lifting in terms of positioning a cryptocurrency, XRP, to be used for settlement. And so again, as they continue to find traction, you have more liquidity pools the world over. It will be easier if SWIFT were to ever want to utilize a cryptocurrency for settlement. And again, if they choose not to use a cryptocurrency for settlement, if SWIFT never does this, they will never solve the settlement issue. There is no other solution that humans have devised. I want to flatly state that. So it doesn't mean that they will. I'm just saying that there is no other way to solve this. So look down here. Here's a tweet from XRP Research Center. If SWIFT wants to solve for real-time payments, that's one less thing Ripple needs to solve. They will still need a settlement asset. And so then there's a screen grab here, and I wanted to run through this with you. And I guess this was probably a screen grab from Reddit. I'm guessing just based on graphically how this looks. Anyway, so here's a question from somebody named Eric Miller. He writes, "Hi Joel," which is David Schwartz. It's just on Reddit he's at, it's Joel Katz. Anyway, "I hope all is well with you. I know you are beyond busy, so I will keep this brief. Having come across these 2 articles on the forum regarding SWIFT," and then there's 2 links there, "which I'm sure you are already aware of. As someone with a general understanding of your technology, does this development on their part pose increased pressure on you guys as far as what you are offering? And in general terms, yes or no will suffice, or as much detail as you can share. Has Ripple anticipated these moves from other companies, SWIFT specifically, with future technologies and improved abilities that will keep you guys out in front and differentiated? Thank you in advance and much appreciated, Eric Miller." And so here's David Schwartz's response to this, and this is quite genuinely interesting here. So he wrote, "We are very pleased to see payments get faster. Our strategy has been to position XRP as a settlement asset. The faster payments are, the more important it is that settlement be fast and cheap. The main reason we built RippleNet and Xcurrent was because payments were too slow for fast/cheap settlement to matter all that much. If SWIFT wants to fix payments for us, that's great. It's one less thing we have to do." So there you go. But so you still need a better means for settlement. And so his point was fascinating to me. It's that perhaps to some degree these entities can take advantage of what the other is doing. As far as the likelihood, I tend to think the more the world changes in terms of the way money's moved around the world and converted from one fiat currency to another, as Ripple's technology takes hold, SWIFT will lose market share if they can't compete. And again, like I say, there is no other way to compete. So if they're going to use a cryptocurrency, they need one, if they were going to use it on a large scale, where corridors are already developed, where there's big pools of liquidity, and that's what Ripple's working on. So that's why I'm saying, assuming they find success, what cryptocurrency would SWIFT want to use if they were to use one? And this is more of a thought exercise than anything else. Again, I'm not saying this is going to happen, but it's worth thinking through. And so you would need, if you're SWIFT, if you were going to use a cryptocurrency, you'd want one that's super fast, super cheap, doesn't use a lot of energy, so that's XRP, obviously. You wouldn't want to use Bitcoin, it's slow and costly, but you'd also need a cryptocurrency that's sufficiently liquid. And right now, there's not enough liquidity to just instantly solve the problem globally, and that's why I keep saying the infrastructure, it's going to take a long time to build out, but it's coming. So what would it look like if they did this? Well, first of all, I don't know that it would be XRapid technology. That would be, I don't even know what that setup would look like. But given that the XRP ledger is decentralized, any developer can come on top and build software that's XRapid-like and implement that. So I don't know that Swift's ever going to do this. I'm just saying either they do it or they don't ever solve the settlement issue. So that's what I think. But there's a whole lot of growth taking place here. And take a look at this piece from Crypto Daily. This is just from yesterday. It's titled, "How XRapid is Making Waves Worldwide." And it states, "We've all heard of Ripple. Whether you love or hate them, you can't deny that they are making waves in the crypto space. Not just there, though. The financial world as a whole seems to be bowing to Ripple. It's clear they want to keep growing, and according to the SVP of product at the firm, Ashish Burla, Ripple is working on expanding their XRP-powered cross-border payment product, XRapid. In a recent Ask Me Anything session on YouTube, Burla spoke on many subjects, including the firm's strategies and plans for its native cryptocurrency XRP, as well as XRapid." And here's a quote now from Burla. "On-demand liquidity is available today in Mexico and the Philippines. So far, the positive responses from our customers in those two countries has been overwhelming. But we are working on the next set of destinations, which we will be announcing in hopefully short order here. I know our product teams and marketing and engineering teams are working hard to light up those next set of destinations so that we can provide our customers with increased choice in terms of global expansion." And so this is the part of the infrastructure that I keep saying is being built out, but does take time to build out. Because nothing like this existed in the world prior to Ripple. So there you go. Not for settlement, Next here, so there are a lot of advantages to using XRapid. If we take out the efficiency and lightning speed, the cost aspects were, unlike the SWIFT charges, transactions through XRapid are almost free. This has given it an edge over traditional money transfer systems. Aside from advantages, banks seem to be hesitant to embrace it because of the lack of regulatory clarity. At the moment, Ripple is getting ready to partner with any cryptocurrency exchange that accepts fiat from traditional banking institutions. There are already 3 crypto exchanges that have partnered with Ripple, including Bittrex, Coins.ph, and Bitso. And like I said it in another video very recently, I'm telling you, as the ecosystem's built out, there is not going to be a single cryptocurrency exchange on the planet that's not going to want a piece of this. Because the exchanges, they don't care what the price of cryptocurrencies are. As long as there's buying and selling, they're making their money off the fees associated with that. And with all the volume that will ultimately flow through thanks to XRapid, and it's all automated, why would an exchange, if they are buying, they have XRP for sale on the exchange, why would they not want to implement that ultimately? Now, given that the infrastructure is being built out, it's not happening, you can't snap your fingers and then it's just there. It's going to take time for this to happen. Anyway, these exchanges have all agreed to use XRapid to facilitate their cross-border transactions. As reported by CoinDo, here's a quote, MercuryFX is one of the payment companies that have adopted XRapid. It recently launched its XRapid-powered payment corridor to Mexico and the Philippines, and it has already completed its first payment using the product by sending money from the United Kingdom to the Philippines. So there you go. And that piece, by the way, I like to give credit where it's due. I wasn't tagged in this tweet, but there's a tweet from @MacAttackXRP, and I was scrolling through my Twitter feed, and that's where I came across this article. And MacAttackXRP wrote, XRP waves worldwide. XRP waves can no longer be stopped. Indeed. All right, let me go ahead and hop into this next piece here. This is from Cointelegraph. Swiss university fights fake diplomas with blockchain technology. The University of St. Gallen in Switzerland is setting its sights on blockchain technology to fight fake diplomas, a type of fraud that has been on the rise globally in recent years. According to a CNN Money Switzerland interview from September 19th, the University of St. Gallen has announced that it is introducing a blockchain-based pilot project to verify the authenticity of its degrees in a matter of seconds rather than several days. The university CIO Harold Rotter said, quote, I saw that it could be necessary and it could be a valid use case to transfer or to make easier to validate our diplomas based on a digital process on blockchain. And the piece continues. The University of St. Gallen has chosen to partner with Swiss blockchain startup Block Factory and will use its certification solution to create immutable diplomas that are registered on the Ethereum blockchain. All right. And then there's a subheading here, Malaysia and Canada also battling fake degrees. Cointelegraph previously reported that the Malaysian Ministry of Education is also trying to tackle the increasing cases of fake educational degrees in its country. Malaysia introduced eScroll, an application built on the NIM blockchain to deal with the issue of certificate fraud through the use of blockchain technology. In June, Cointelegraph reported that a Canadian tech institute also plans to issue blockchain-based diplomas to its next graduating class. More than 4,800 graduating students of the Southern Alberta Institute of Technology will receive its first blockchain-based degrees along with their traditional parchments in 2019. Similarly, the University of Bahrain announced that it was partnering with the startup Learning Machine to provide its blockchain diplomas at the beginning of 2019. And so, as I was reading through this, I was thinking about how there are some people, some prominent members of, in the crypto space. I'd say Andreas Antonopoulos kind of comes to mind, who kind of has the mindset that, he's against the idea of blockchain being useful but not Bitcoin. He just thinks that that's bogus. I've heard him say things along these lines. if it's not actually immutable, not just that, but if there's not an actual currency, what's the point of blockchain? Well, I've always maintained that okay, look, the way Satoshi Nakamoto envisions Bitcoin being adopted, peer-to-peer cashless system, no central authority required. Okay, cool, that's one use case, but it's silly to me to think that blockchain, in order to be productive, must have a native digital asset. And if you look, in fact, 2017, with the advent of all the ICOs, they were really just money grabs. All these blockchains with native currencies attached to them, to what end? As if they were all going to be adopted and used as their own individual currencies one day. No, it's silly. And so here's an instance right here, cited in this article, what I just covered here, where you can actually use blockchain technology and you don't need to have a native digital asset. I just find it fascinating. So we'll see the degree to which things like this continue to be adopted, but like I said, fascinating nonetheless. So that's it for this video. I am not a financial advisor. Do not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo!